You know, if there's one person on this planet that I would not want to be right now, it's probably Alex Jones. Not that I disagree with Alex necessarily or that I find him to be a bad person or anything else. I just wouldn't want to live his life at the moment because the powers that be are just determined to silence him. Almost more determined than silencing people like Donald Trump. They're just going after this guy like there's no tomorrow. And now they've taken yet another step that, or they're trying to anyways, that I just don't see how it's even possible. It probably isn't. But let's dig into it. My name is Dan. Let's see what's going on with Alex Jones. This is from Scanner News. Sandy Hook families want to seize Alex Jones' personal social media accounts. The families are seeking to seize personal @RealAlexJones account on X. The families of the Sandy Hook victims who successfully sued InfoWars and Alex Jones are now seeking to seize both the company's and his personal social media accounts. Jones' assets are being liquidated to cover his debts to the families, and they're arguing that the accounts are a key part of the InfoWars business. The InfoWars founder filed for bankruptcy nearly a year and a half ago, but owes $1.5 billion, which is freaking ridiculous, to the relatives of the students who were killed in Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012 over his claims that the shooting was a false flag. Jones has repeatedly apologized for making the claims. That is true. On Wednesday, the families asked the bankruptcy judge to seize control of social media accounts, which includes Jones's personal @RealAlexJones account on X. Reuters reports Jones's X account, which has 2.3 million followers, is no different than a customer list or other liquidating, no different than a customer list of any other liquidating business. That's what the Sandy Hook families have argued. The report added they argued that Jones used the social media account to push down the value of InfoWars by diverting sales from that site to his father's drjonesnaturals.com, which sells health supplements and other products. That is one of the ways that Alex has made his money over the years, is through the sales of supplements. Jones's attorney, Vicky Driver, said on Thursday that the Sandy Hook family's request was procedurally improper and that Jones would oppose it at the appropriate time. The Connecticut plaintiffs have never wanted money from Jones, but to silence him, Jones's lawyer said. Jones had been banned from the platform for approximately 5 years, but was recently reinstated by X's new owner, Elon Musk. This is very true. Musk actually wasn't even quick to reinstate him. It took some time. Quote, a bankruptcy judge is scheduled to hear the family's demand at a Friday court hearing in Houston. The judge is expected to convert Alex Jones' bankruptcy from an 11 to a 7, which will liquidate, and this will allow a court-appointed trustee to take control of and sell off Jones' assets. This whole thing is such a joke to me. My biggest problem with this, first off, is the idea that he is having to hand over more than $1 billion to some families of the Sandy Hook victims, which, oh, by the way, yes, horrible event. Let's just get that out of the way straight away. That any of these mass school shootings are obviously something that nobody in their right mind wants. And it would certainly be nothing that I would want in my community or any community in the United States. It's a horrible thing. But let's separate that from the idea of having an opinion or a belief, right or wrong. There is nothing in our Constitution with regards to the First Amendment and your freedom of speech that says there's a limit on it, that you can't have a belief that's wrong. That's not in there. Because how do you define right or wrong? Sometimes it's not that clear cut. And especially if it's a belief. You know, the facts you can prove right or wrong. And the fact that Alex has subsequently come out and apologized for his remarks, yes, part of that is probably to try to stave off some of the issue. But two, he may have just come to a belief finally that, yeah, okay, I was wrong on that one. But so why is that a problem? Why is it a problem that Alex Jones isn't allowed to have a belief and then later find out that belief is incorrect? Why is it, honestly, that he wouldn't be allowed to have that belief and never figure out that it might be incorrect? Because to police that, to hold him civilly accountable for just having an opinion, right or wrong, that's like Thought Police 1984 George Orwell kind of stuff. It's thought crime that he was basically found guilty of. Heaven forbid that he have a controversial viewpoint on something. And I'm not saying I agree with him, because honestly I don't. But that's beside the point. The fact that Alex isn't allowed to have that belief just doesn't line up with American values, quite honestly, and it doesn't line up with our Constitution. And I know somebody's going to argue with me right now and say, well, we have values that people's feelings matter and that the rule of law matters, and this is a horrible thing that happened, and taking care of those people matters. So all those things matter, but it doesn't supersede the idea that you have a right to your speech and a right to your beliefs. And the fact that any court would find otherwise is ridiculous. Now let's get on to this whole matter of his X account. The idea that somebody is going to seize that is just laughable to me on multiple fronts. First off, that account doesn't belong to Alex Jones. None of our accounts on X belong to us. They belong to X. Don't believe me? Why is it then that X or any of these other platforms can just ban you without notice and you'll never have access to your account? So is that really something that's yours? It's not yours. It belongs to the companies. In this case, his X account belongs to Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is going to have to decide whether or not he wants to grant access to that account to these other places and these other people. And I'm betting that he doesn't. He doesn't have to. I suppose some court could try to order him to do it, but he'll fight that, because the minute he lets one ruling take over like that and say that he has to hand over access of an account because of a lawsuit, because of a civil suit of all things, it's not even like a criminal thing, it's a civil suit, then he'd have to do it all the time. He'll fight that to the bitter end, and he should, because it's not right. So I don't know how they would seize it anyways. And if they're claiming that it's like a customer list, well, what exactly are the plaintiffs in this case going to do with a customer list? Are they suddenly going to start direct messaging all these people on X and like try to sell them something to make money? I don't think so. It's not about that. It's about silencing him. But they're not going to silence him anyways, because this is the other reason why this wouldn't work. Even if he lost control of that X account, what's to stop him from going and making another X account or an account on a different platform or whatever? You know as well as I do that as popular as Alex Jones is, he would have to post one time, and he would get instantly hundreds of thousands of people following him again, replying to him, giving him the viewership that he needs, and he's right back in the game. And he can keep playing that game infinitely. You can't silence the man. You can't stop him. And it's lunacy that the plaintiffs in this case are arguing that they need this because it would be like part of the liquidation. It's like an asset. It's not an asset. It's certainly not an asset they're going to monetize. This isn't about that, though, is it? It's not about them getting money. It's about them trying to shut Alex Jones down and shut him up. What does that say about us as a country? And again, I feel for the parents who lost children there, and I feel for the families of the adults that were lost, and all these things. It's, again, as I stated earlier, it's not a small insignificant thing that happened there, and I'm not saying that it is. But two things can be true at once. That can be a horrible event, and it can also be true that Alex Jones should have the ability to say what he thinks. And then you, in turn, should have the ability to hate him for what he thinks. Go ahead. That's okay. You know, we talk about how hate is like this horrible thing, but people hate all the time. So whatever. Have at it. What went on there doesn't mean Alex Jones should owe them 1.2 billion because he raised his hand and said, I don't believe it. But we're there anyways. And as far as them getting his X account, well, the message there is clear. Shut up, Alex Jones, is what they're trying to say. And they're not going to shut him up, nor should they. The man has a right to speak. Those are my thoughts on the matter. We'll see where it goes. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Should Alex Jones lose his X account? Are the plaintiffs in this case even going to do anything with it? Or is it like I think it's just a matter of shutting him up? Let me know your thoughts. Do me a favor, if you were informed by this video and you enjoyed it, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and the like button. We are a new channel here, but I have been on YouTube for a minute. I've got hundreds of videos across other channels, including The Wise Souls, which is a live show I do with my family Mondays and Wednesdays. There'll be a link for that in the description down below. Please do check that out as well. Until the next time I see you folks, take care.